Hey everybody, Robin here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Oracle Rising. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you so much. This is my second channel, you guys. I have a tarot reading channel, and then I was guided to start this one to help create a spiritual family, connections with star seeds and light workers. Hopefully give you some guidance on your spiritual awakening, your spiritual path, and just to connect and feel like a family. Okay, so welcome here, you guys, and love and light, many blessings. I do bring these subjects to you, and today I'm going to talk about awakening Kundalini. You know, from the bottom of my heart, and things that I'm aware of and maybe you've heard of and you wanted to know a little bit more about. I always encourage you guys to go ahead and do your own research. You might not agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. I look forward to your comments if you have anything in addition to what I've already covered, or if you disagree with me, that's cool. And also, if you guys want to see me talk about a subject, go ahead and pop it in the comments or send me an email. It's oraclerising2@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to fit you into the content. And, I consider that a huge honor. So we're going to talk about Kundalini. All right. So everybody has the capacity for Kundalini. In a lot of people, it's dormant. Okay. Or they're working on awakening Kundalini. So I talked about this a little bit in my video that I did a couple weeks ago, Sacred Rage. Okay. So when your Kundalini starts to rise, it's also going to awaken aspects of yourself, your spirituality, and your consciousness that you weren't aware of before. Okay, so the graphic that I described in that video is Kundalini is described as a snake that connects all of your chakras, basically up the line of your spine. So when it's dormant, it's coiled up around your sacral root chakra, and it's just sleeping. You know what I mean when things hibernate. It's hibernating in a lot of people, and this is why we have the 3D matrix, because people aren't in touch with it. Okay, so Kundalini is your spiritual energy, and the stronger you climb on your ascension path or awaken your spirituality or expand your consciousness, the more that this should open up for you. It can be a life's work for a lot of people, and some people will never experience it in this lifetime, which is, you might have to come back and try again. If you're not interested in reincarnating on Earth again, I did a video on how to avoid that. Okay, so some people can have, like I said before, a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. If I didn't say it before, I meant to. So some people, when they have a near-death experience, their Kundalini could explode wide open, okay? It could just all of a sudden connect and everything changes for them. If you notice that people that tell their near-death experience stories, they have a completely different outlook on life. Everything is beautiful. They want to experience everything to the fullest. And I just saw angel number 333. They're basically a different person, a brand new sense of appreciation. They seem to have this, deep faith that everything is going to be okay. And that can basically sum up what Kundalini awakening is. All right. So this can also happen to people when they fall in love. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. Just because the emotions supercharge you, and it gives room for that coiled snake to start moving its way up through your chakras. Is anybody afraid of snakes? Because it might not be a very comfortable image for those of you that are afraid of snakes, but I think snakes are cool, so I'm okay with it. And this can also happen during childbirth, which is very interesting. So these are huge rushes of endorphins in your body, falling in love, experiencing childbirth. And that's also something that rocks your body too. I guess both can. Anyway, we'll move on. So, and the near-death experience, because in near death, or people that are brought back to life, you actually get to see what is beyond the veil of our current earth experience. So it's like, whoa, it's there, you know? So I'll explain a little bit more about Kundalini and how it looks. I can't really post anybody else's image on my thumbnail because that's called stealing or whatever it is. So maybe go to Google or wherever and just look for images about Kundalini, and you'll see that coiled snake that I was talking about, and you'll see it sort of winding up through your chakras. And I've done videos on chakras too, you guys, if you need a little bit of education on that or help understanding. So Kundalini connects your divine feminine, and this is at the base of the spine, and it connects it to your divine masculine in the 7th chakra at the crown. So this is having that complete balance within you, and just everything connected. This is why when you have a divine feminine, divine masculine, romantic affair, things like this can happen, and it brings in that instant connection. Okay, so I find this a really, really fascinating subject, and something that I have been working on, and I know a lot of people are also working on this, but just because you are trying to awaken Kundalini does not mean that it's necessarily going to happen for you. Some people work on it their entire lives and it never happens. Other people have spontaneous Kundalini awakening or Kundalini rising. I've had all 3 of these experiences. I've had a near-death experience, I've fallen in love, and I have given birth. Okay, I have 2 boys. And this didn't happen for me, this Kundalini. But then I was also still really stuck in the 3D matrix, so maybe that had something to do with it. I'm really interested to hear from you guys if you've had any of these experiences, and if you noticed that there was any sort of a connection to a spiritual awakening, because I find these subjects fascinating, okay? And I've written about them, I've talked about them before. So some things that you can do to help your Kundalini rise, to connect with the divine feminine and the divine masculine within you. And everybody has this, okay? Everybody has both. So to open your chakras. I first started doing chakra opening meditations years ago. My first guide that I stumbled across on YouTube was Jason Stevenson, and he does about a 20-minute chakra sleep meditation, and it was very calming. And that was right when I was at the edge of understanding a spiritual awakening. I had just come out of my dark night of the soul. You know, so you can do the meditations, okay? Those are really beautiful. I find one of the best ways to open your chakras is to do something like Qigong or Tai Chi, because it really works with your energy. It's funny that I said that, because I just did Qigong for the first time today, probably in months, because I just went through a bit of a funk, and I was like, well, I'm just going to do short things of everything. I'll do a little bit of yoga. I'll do a little bit of a meditation, because I still wanted to keep my practices, but I was like, I just feel so drained. So, but I kept going. And then today I was like, okay, I really need to get my butt in gear, start going back to Qigong. And I just felt the energy around me change. And that's the whole concept of Qigong, is to clear out negative energy and protect your body. And it's just a really beautiful experience. And then one of the bonuses is that it helps to awaken and align your chakras, okay? So yoga is really good for this. I think I said meditation probably a million times already. Your diet can have a lot to do with it. So, that's something that I've practiced for a long time, is trying to eat clean. I probably have a cheat day at least once a week, because I like delicious food too. Not that clean eating is not delicious, but you guys know what I mean. I like snacks. Huge fan of snacks, okay? So the second one is going to be really important to help you encourage your Kundalini to awaken from its slumber at the base of your spine. And this is to work through your traumas. Can be very challenging for people, especially if you had like a horrifying childhood. I've talked about this a little bit for myself before. I had a lot to go through on my journey after I was born, and I understand now that all of it was so that I could be here. Okay, I've talked about before that I have a tarot card channel, and I was guided to do that, and then I was guided to do this channel. So I understand now that the purpose of that horrific journey that I had for 40 plus years, I'm 56 now, and I finally resolved as much as I could. You know, there's still a little bit of, sometimes I get haunted by memories, and this is going to happen to you guys too. But trying to heal everything that happened in your past that was very traumatic for you, you're going to have to do the work. And this is what the dark night of the soul is all about. It's like really just getting in there and doing your shadow work and saying, like, this was just the journey that my soul chose, and whether I approve of it or not, you know, it's for my highest soul purpose and for the benefit of, you know, hopefully not having to reincarnate on earth again to learn any more lessons, because didn't I learn enough this time? You know what I mean? So for me, a basic indication of when you have healed your trauma story is when it doesn't make you cry anymore. Okay. I find one of the biggest cathartic ways of healing trauma is to write it down. Okay, just write it down. Just keep writing. Just pour it out, type it out, whatever you got to do. Let it sit, and then go read it. Then go read it. Okay? Maybe it's going to make you sob, and maybe it's going to make you angry. Let it sit. Go back and read it when you're feeling up to it again. And maybe like the next time, okay, you know, and then you can absorb it a little bit more. I'm actually getting goosebumps talking about this because this is how I healed myself. I actually wrote a book about it. It's not pretty. Like, I had a pretty horrifying life. Like I said before, I made tons of mistakes. I had, well, they were very damaging experiences, okay? Because I don't like at this point in my life to say that something was a mistake, okay? Because it's not. It's part of your life experience. You have to learn how to manage it emotionally. Work through your traumas any way that you can. If you find that right now in your life you are leaning on addictive substances, any addictive behavior, this is you avoiding your trauma, okay? So maybe look at that, and maybe if there's things that you don't want to think about, or you prefer not to talk about, or you want to keep it a secret, you can still work through it with that one-on-one by writing out your thoughts, okay? Or typing them. Or, you know, it's even more compelling as if you, you could even do a video log like this and then sit and watch yourself. Like, how deep is that, you know? And watch the emotion on your face, and then you can actually speak to yourself while you're watching your own video and say, it's okay, I'm here for you. You know, everything is all right. I forgive you, okay? So forgiving yourself is going to be part of healing this trauma, okay? Or forgiving other people, even if they don't deserve your forgiveness. It's so that you can forget about the trauma. I really went off on a rant about trauma because, you know, you can see it in people. You know, the angry people, the hurt people, they're angry and hurt for a reason. You know, they're disconnected for a reason. They're sick for a reason. It's because that trauma is inside them, sort of poisoning them. So there's got to be a point in your life where you can't allow the poison to affect you anymore. So work through your trauma. I didn't mean to go on and on like that, but as soon as I started talking about it, it just all came gushing out. So it can be very cathartic for you guys. So I hope that really helped. I just saw angel number 1441. Okay, and I talked about Kundalini Yoga and meditation already. Because once I get going, I'm really hard to stop. So anyway, guys, this was just sort of a little intro into awakening Kundalini. There's something that I wanted to advise you guys to, talking about Kundalini Yoga. Before I knew what was really going on, I attempted this Kundalini Yoga. I found this YouTube video and I thought, oh yeah, well, this would be really cool. It should be really helpful. But it was incredibly strenuous. And then for the next week, my back was killing me because they were doing these moves that, you know, you do these really sort of over the top cat and cow. It was in a seated position. I thought, yeah, I'm doing great. This is going to be amazing. And then it was torture. So stick to something at your own speed. Like, don't find an expert level of something because you want to accelerate your Kundalini awakening or your Kundalini arising. You know, that was really a master level of yoga, and I'm not a master. Like, I do it to stay fit. I do it to stay, you know, so that my muscles aren't sore and my back is aching. And then I did this and then I was just a disaster. It had the opposite effect on me. So start small in anything that you're trying new. Like, really do really gentle movements on your body, unless you are a yogi or you're in a really good physical position where you can take on mastery levels of that type of yoga or qigong, or something that is going to push your body beyond where you want to go. Okay, so I think that's all I've got for you guys. So love and light, you guys. Many blessings. Sending love and light. Love you guys. Bye.